What's up, guys? Here with you again, another edition of the Robin Lundberg Show. Going to be a one-topic show today, other than the comments that wind up coming in. But I want to begin it with an announcement. That you can see some of the fans have here. Kevin Zwicker, he has become a YouTube member, new member. AJ Schreiber, new member. And AJ Schreiber follows up by saying the WWR is here. That's what I'm branding the memberships. I now have memberships. I now have super chats. So if you want to support me and the channel, please use those. Any super chats that come in, no matter how much money is up behind them, are getting read first, of course. Any memberships, you'll get exclusive perks. I'm developing all that out. You should already have access to custom emojis and your WWR badge. I will give you other exclusive content. And really, a lot of it's also just about supporting me, supporting the growth of this, and supporting the community. But I thank you in advance for us already being here. I thank you in advance for this even being something I can state. And the fact that this channel is now official tissue and monetized. Ball Knower says, AJ Schreiber, did the emoji not work? Looks like it might not have fired right, but we'll work out the kinks. But one of them is Ball Knower. It's supposed to be Caitlin Clark. I have Caitlin Clark and Kendrick Lamar. And what are the other ones in there? Roman Reigns and Thor are the custom emojis that are supposed to be available. I had them set up earlier, so I'll double check them to make sure all that is rocking and rolling. Oh, AJ says it shows on his end. Okay, good. Maybe it's just when I'm displaying it here in the channel. I'll go back and look. WWR, by the way, stands for women's basketball, which I've obviously been covering heavily on this show, wrestling, which I will cover, and we'll figure out the various ways to cover these things, whether it's one of them's in the live stream, the breakout videos, and all that. And the last is rap, which I've been covering a lot of, obviously. And my name is Robin. So we are the WWR. If you'd like to join the WWR, please sign up for the membership. And please show support with super chats like Kevin just sent, $1.99. Like that helps so much. Like that's the first. Kevin, AJ, I actually literally, you want to know a true story? And he says the WWR where the big boys come to play. A lot of people go to other people and different outlets and whatnot. And I'm not saying I'm not going to reach outside of the inner circle, but the beginning processes of this are coming from people who were my fans and are now not only just a part of this community, but a part of this production. I literally talked to AJ and Kevin today, to help, to discuss, to ideate, to counsel. And Kevin and I are going to shoot a video later on comparing rappers to wrestlers. So I just wanted to get all that stuff out of the way. Any members will get their stuff read first. Any super chats will get their stuff read first. And all that is a part of the show. And thanks to you. Thanks to you all who have made this thing grow. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, comment. I'll get back to you later. Been running around like crazy today, but let me start with this topic because so many of these shows have begun with Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark is this new force, this huge sea change, the Michael Jordan of the sport, as I've called it, or called her, I guess is what I would say. And I've had some people, I wish I could have found the comment, but like, why aren't you talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and pairing them together? And I just want to say, I'll compare them in a second and conjoin them in a second. But I just want to say that Angel Reese is a star in her own right, and that is fair. And I am completely on board with that. I thought she was stunning at the Met Gala. We find the pictures of Angel Reese at the Met Gala. I thought she was absolutely stunning. I thought the highlights from the game were impressive. This is actually kind of cool. She posted one image from each. This was Angel Reese on the basketball court, obviously. And this other one is Angel Reese at the Met Gala. And what's interesting about it is I think I don't know. Has the WNBA had a sex symbol before? And I don't mean this in a negative way, but like Angel Reese is going to have people following her and people who, are attracted to her in that sense and want to, you know, follow every move she makes. And because she's a beautiful lady, young woman. And she knows it obviously from that outfit at the Met Gala. And she presents it with class. But then she can also hoop. And she's a baller. Big Barbie, I think they're calling her now. Not Bayou Barbie, Big Barbie, which I like too. And I really saw a comment online that I thought was really strong analysis. Let me find this comment. It was from here. I'll pull it up on screen so everybody can see it. This was, I think, expert basketball analysis on Angel Reese. Angel Reese was a dog today versus the Liberty. I can tell she's a great teammate. I love her energy with her team and how she supports them. But I stand by my point that she needs that face-up game to be truly successful as opposed to in the W. She's got to stretch her game past the paint. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, Reese is good near the bucket. She's strong. She can box out, she can finish, but she can't get you off the face. And I think that will take her game to the next level. Because don't get me wrong, she's a player. She was drafted in the first round for a reason, but she wasn't the first pick for the team. And it's okay, like not, but I will just say for everybody who was championing for Angel Reese and saying she's a star, I want to say that she is a star. She is a star. Sean Davis, new member. He says, following for Denise. You're great, man. Hey, Denise is the best. I love Denise. Denise Salcedo. Make sure you follow her channel, subscribe to her channel. She is monstrous in the pro wrestling space. I join her every Friday night after SmackDown. We did Busted Open Radio together this past Saturday. She is the best. Join the DWO. This is the WWR. And if you're coming from Denise's channel, obviously you like the wrestling content. I hope you like all the other content. I do as well, but I will be putting up the wrestling. I do a lot of wrestling shorts. And Kevin and I are going to be doing like a little rap and wrestling back and forth as some of the videos that go on here with the vibe that we've gotten. So I just want to shout you out. Thank you, Sean, for joining. Thank you for the comment. Crystal Vegan Smith says, I agree. CC has the bigger impact, but Angel Reese is probably the biggest draw outside of CC. Yeah, and look, Angel Reese she's more charismatic than Caitlin Clark in just a traditional sense. Like, if Caitlin Clark did a good job on SNL, and I think Caitlin Clark is learning. And Caitlin Clark is very smart. Like, you can see in her answers. I went back and remember I posted the clip from yesterday's show about the chartered flights. And if you go back, somebody actually gave me credit for this. There was a video I posted where the thumbnail says boss with Caitlin Clark. And when I heard those comments, what she said, it reminded me, or it didn't remind me, it told me at that moment she knew yesterday's price was not today's price. She knew this was going to change. And sure enough, it changed really quickly as soon as they saw Caitlin Clark get mobbed in the airport. But Angel Reese is like, photogenic, I guess is the best way to put it, right? She's photogenic. She's got a big smile. She's got a big personality. She's got the two different looks I just showed. It's interesting, right? Because she can put on the athletic wear and be a hooper, but she can also be essentially a model. She's a model. Again, I say none of this stuff in a derogatory fashion at all. She's a sex symbol and a hooper. I think, and I don't know if that's ever happened in the WNBA before. Goodness Rated Bo says they beat the Liberty by 50. Wow. Liberty sucks. We supposedly have Sabrina. I mean, look, it was the preseason game. Where was Sabrina at? Let me give Sabrina some credit too, because I think unbeknownst to so many people, the WNBA was actually growing before Caitlin Clark. Yes. Caitlin Clark took it to another level. Caitlin Clark changed the dynamics of the sport. Caitlin Clark is that rising tide that has lifted all boats, as I've said. But the WNBA was on a positive trajectory already. It was on a positive trajectory already, where the ratings had gone up every year. And you look at Sabrina in the All-Star game with Steph. I said that was an inspirational moment because little girls could watch that and go, "Oh, that could be me," and little boys could watch that and go, "Oh, girls ain't to be trifled with. You know, I better watch the way I fix my mouth." Goodness rated Bo Angel Reese looks good playing basketball. It's like these rookies haven't missed a step. Well, the game is just evolving, you know. Kevin Zwicker says Skylar Diggins was the closest thing to WNBA sex symbol, but not to this level of fame. Yeah, and maybe Kelsey Plum to a certain extent, but not like on the GQ or not GQ. I don't know, magazine covers. You know, magazines don't even exist on the digital covers, on the E streets. You know, that's where we're at. Crystal Vegan Smith, I will always like to note if Angel Reese could have come out a year earlier, she would have been the second pick after winning the title and averaged 23 points and 15 rebounds. Look, I mean, Angel's a baller. And hopefully, like, you know, I think I titled the thumb, at least, the text on that, "Sky is the limit, Chicago Sky." Hopefully it only goes up from here. It only goes up from here. But that's the situation with Angel Reese. I see another. I'm going to get to one more thing on that in a second, but read some of your comments. Ernesto says the WNBA technically has the ball in their court. Caitlin Clark is the best opportunity that they have to raise this league to the next level. What's up, Robin? What's up, Ernesto? DS Saisahande says, what are your thoughts on Brittney Griner? Have you read about her situation and how she's playing right now? Is there some specific news? I mean, I saw her looking back on obviously everything that happened to her, but you'll have to fill me in on, I may have missed if there was something specific to be reacting to as far as your question goes right there. You know, I saw some stuff about what was going on in Russia and the like, and everything like that. She gave advice to Caitlin Clark. But I mean, look, Brittney Griner went through a traumatic experience. A traumatic experience. I have a comment from BT616 that I'm going to read a little bit later in the show. I'll read his first one here, though. So you watch Angel Reese game on bootleg Twitter. 500,000 views, not streamed on NBA League Pass. Why? Well, I think it was because the WNBA, to be honest, was not prepared for the level of interest. And they're starting to adapt. They got the note. They got the note and they learned because they changed that. And I think that person streaming that game, you know, was a wake-up call. That changed things. And then I just did want to make one other point on this before I just go to the comments, because this might be a little shorter show, a one-topic stream today, because I do have to pick up my son, and Kevin and I are going to work on something after the show, and I got a lot of other projects I'm juggling. I'm going to be my own boss. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm going to be my own boss. So with that being the case, I got a lot of stuff I got to do. I've had this cough I can't really shake. And I don't have a cough button, so I apologize for that. But I want to say this. It's okay to like both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. That's okay. There's no competition. There was a competition when they played each other. I get why it became a thing. You know, Bayou Barbie against the white girl from Iowa. I get it. And I get the Magic and Bird comparisons as such, because that was in many ways, like, it was Clark before that who got a lot of attention, but that got like attention. And of course, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson famously met in college before going to become respective stars in the league. Different markets, different backgrounds, and they got the NBA off tape delay. I think Caitlin Clark is closer to Michael Jordan again, because she is a generational individual talent who will shift the entire dynamics of the sport. But I get why it was a thing. And I get why at that time people would root against one or the other, or they didn't like a specific thing. And, people were mad at Angel Reese for taking it too far. And then others were like, well, Caitlin Clark did it first, blah, blah, blah. But we're past that now. And it'll always be good if there's competition, there's some heat, but there doesn't need to be like polarization. Just because somebody roots for Caitlin Clark, y'all don't have to shun Angel Reese and vice versa. Right? Like, here's the fact of the matter. And this is why, I find this story fascinating to cover. And I tell you, I will cover it truthfully and honestly. The truth of the matter is, Caitlin Clark is a better basketball player than Angel Reese by a significant margin. But Angel Reese is still a very good basketball player and has selling points that go beyond her abilities as a basketball player. She can be sold as a basketball player. She can be sold as something else, and then she could be sold as a combination. And the better she plays at basketball, the better everything gets. So I'm hoping she improves her game and face-up game and everything like that. But I like Angel Reese quite a bit. I find her, like I said, incredibly charismatic. And I recognize, having seen the data and the numbers, what a unique phenomenon Caitlin Clark is, not to mention just how incredibly exciting her game is. But for the sport as a whole, it's good if they're both good. It's good if they're both loved. It's good if they're both stars. And it shouldn't be like, well, Caitlin's getting this. Where's the attention for Angel? Like, Angel Reese is going to get plenty of attention. She's going to get plenty of deals. I promise you. I promise you. But what Caitlin Clark is doing is on a whole nother level. But that's okay. Doesn't mean there's not plenty of room for Angel Reese to have her own lane and to eat. And I, personally, am rooting for both of those ladies to succeed. And I hope many of you do the same. Let me get into the comment section here and read out some of what you guys have. Adidas hired Candace Parker. I saw that earlier today. It says Germa Lovings. I did see that. Goodness Rated Bo says the Ant-Man is very good, but he's no Jordan. I guess you're talking about Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is very good. I agree. He's not Jordan. Sports Guru 0258 says, I don't know, 2 million views on cell phone footage is pretty remarkable. Who's saying it ain't? Who's saying it ain't? It is. But that means, like, there's two things about that. One is everybody who was looking for it was going there. And then two, it was like one of those things you want to be a part of as it's happening. Like, well, this is crazy. This is cool. But I am not saying Angel Reese does not have star power. I'm not saying that. I've just seen, trust me, I've seen it. Like, and I've looked at the metrics and like, it's okay. Like, Caitlin Clark is the biggest star, but Angel Reese is a big star. Crystal Vegan Smith, Robin, I agree with you, but now I come to understand the hate on Angel Reese and CC is sadly a part of appeal. The racial aspect is sadly why the WNBA will explode. Well, I think it's a combination of things. It plays into it. It plays into it. The racial aspect, no question. No, I'm not going to say it doesn't factor in. But I think also the people, and I see it. I see the race baiting in the comments both ways, to be honest with you. And that's not me or what I'm about. I treat everybody with respect. I also grew up in unique circumstances where I was around people of a lot of different backgrounds, but regardless, it doesn't matter. You treat everybody with respect, and I evaluate and opine on everyone based on how I look at it individually. But I also think the people that are saying that are the minority. You get a lot of people on these comment sections who say stuff, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the broadest representation. It's just the people with the Twitter fingers or the Facebook fingers or what have you. So Sports Guru says, I think both stars should be marketed. People didn't call out. We don't get to see that game from Angel and 2. Yes, and it was a good thing. It was a good thing. The WNBA cannot fumble this opportunity. And they're stupid if they only promote Caitlin Clark from here on out. Caitlin Clark is the headliner. But with that, there will need to be a new headliner at some point in the future. And there needs to be co-stars. And Caitlin Clark is certainly that. Corey Ford says they play different positions. Obviously, definitely. I mean, Angel Reese is a big woman. I say that and I feel like I'm saying something offensive because in the NBA we call it a big man, right? A big Barbie. And Caitlin Clark is a guard. But Caitlin Clark is just such a more dynamic scorer and passer and all those things. I mean, in fact, they would be great teammates. They would play together great. So I'm not saying that, that Caitlin Clark or that Angel Reese is no good, or that Caitlin Clark is only better because Angel Reese plays a different position. Caitlin Clark's just better. But that doesn't mean Angel Reese isn't very good and isn't very marketable because she is. Some NBA comments have been popping up in here. Have you watched Ant? Same skill set and athletics and a better jump shot in comparison to Michael Jordan. Goodness Rated Bo says the closest thing to Jordan was Kobe Bryant. May he rest in peace. Yeah, I mean, look, Kobe patterned his game completely after Michael Jordan. Completely after Michael Jordan. To the point of, it was like impressive that he got as close to being as good as Michael Jordan as he was, but not quite as good. LeBron was a whole different thing. I see the comparisons with Anthony Edwards, but he got a long way to go before I'm putting him in the same sentence as Michael Jordan. Let me just say it that way. Long way to go. German Lovings, Clark's passing is a combination of Magic and Larry Bird. Well, that's a good combination. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Jason Kidd and Nash, to be honest with you. But Jason Kidd, the way she's like upright when she dribbles the ball and outlets the ball up the floor. So I do see in the chat, AJ, that the badge is definitely working. The badge is definitely. Oh, and in the live chat in there, in the YouTube studio, it definitely came through. So your no ball knower emoji came through as I'm going through and cycling through and looking at it. Because all of those things, this is like part of this membership thing that I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. The membership that we're creating here. AJ puts another ball knower thing up. AJ and Kevin were the first 2 official members. So if you want to become a member of the channel of the WWR, please do that. Kevin Zwicker, one's up. You get the badge, the WWR badge, women's basketball, wrestling, rap. I'll probably wind up differentiating them a little bit. But we'll figure out how to populate the channel. But to answer the question that Crystal Vegan Smith says, Robin, is your niece the WNBA? If so, you timed this thing right before the storm. This was a happy accident. It was a happy accident. If I were going to have a niche before, it would have been NBA and then wrestling and then rap, right? But I started talking about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA and things just started exploding. And then I found myself fascinated by it, and I saw the clear interest and the clear numbers in the return. And yes, I am aware of that timing. I'm going to get on my surfboard and ride that W wave, baby. In fact, I shouldn't even say this stuff out loud, but I'm in the purpose of speaking things into existence. I could have some rather significant news on that front before too long, depending on how the next couple of days go. That is in addition to this here program. But yeah, I mean, that's gotten me all of these views. And then, of course, the other stuff that I'm into too, which I get to as the show goes on, and I'll break out into separate videos. I'm going to go find that chat that was up there before. BT616, I like to apologize. K-Dot is top 5. I told you. What Kendrick Lamar did is legendary. So before I get out of here today, I'm going to do a taping with Kevin tonight where we compare rappers to pro wrestlers. So if you have any suggestions to get the wheels turning, you can send them in now. This is all based off the line from Not Like Us, where Kendrick says, "Sweet chin music and I won't pass the ox." You know, and Kendrick, a little spoiler alert to me, is he's almost like Bret the Hitman Hart combined with Shawn Michaels, where he's the excellence of execution, a master of his craft, and the best in the ring like those guys were, but has the charisma when he wants to, like Shawn, to hit you with different voices and the different flows, and ultimately that's why he's won this rap battle going away. And it's been a dominant performance. So if you have any, because I got to figure these, like, who is Jay-Z? Who is Nas? Who is Lil Wayne? Who is Drake? Who is Kanye? Who is the Wu-Tang Clan? All those things. So if you want to send some suggestions in, Kevin and I are going to do. Those videos have been really well received. The ones that I do with him got a little vibe and dynamic going on as he sends got some more fire for y'all coming. And I'm breaking it out separate than rather doing it on this show, because then I think we can give each audience different things for each audience, different things for people to choose from on the show, on the channel, on the show and on the channel. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in. Any comments after the fact, I will get to as many of them as I possibly can. But it's getting harder and harder because there are more and more comments and there are more and more viewers. Again, the channel now has active memberships. You can send in super chats. You can get access to your emojis, to your badge, your WWR badge. I'll have some exclusive perks, like what I'm going to do is organize a hangout session. I think that's a perk that I would actually like and enjoy, and that people could participate in with me. And that will be one of the things, if you're a member, we will organize hangout sections that, where we all get on a Zoom. If anybody's in the area, where we could all go hang out together actually in person. But if not, just hang out and shoot the ish, I think that could be cool. If you have any other suggestions for, exclusives and things to help build the membership. But your support helps build this, right? Your support helps build this. And I appreciate any and everybody who's willing to throw a few bucks the channel's way to help it grow. It's completely free. You don't have to. It's completely free. You don't have to. But, as it gets bigger, I won't be able to get through everybody's chats. And it's already getting hard. I can see it now in this chat. The chat's starting to go bananas. If you want some exclusive content, if you want yourself shouted out, all those things, that will help with that. Ernesto says Wu-Tang is the new bloodline. I think, is Wu-Tang NWO? I think Wu-Tang might be NWO. Like a hostile takeover of the game. Made it their own for a little while. I think Wu-Tang might be the NWO. We'll get to that on that breakout clip that Kevin and I are going to do later. Michael S. says, Mike Greenberg made a good comparison of MJ to everybody else. For example, in the flu game, Jordan scored 47 when the game was 89, 86. Look, I mean, whole different era. Whole different time period. I mean, I think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, so maybe that's a separate spin-off series. I'll still talk NBA here, but it just didn't have that W. I like the WWR. I think it sounds dope. Does everybody agree with that? WWR members? Michael adds, Angel is getting a Reebok signature shoe. Shaq is her mentor. No doubt. There's no doubt. And then Tony Hill, see, this is what I'm talking about. She is a selfish, self-serving, classless, and jealous narcissist. She was a self-promoter who was trying to create a rivalry with Clark when Clark isn't even paying attention. One wannabe isn't a rival. Angel Reese is like a child. So is Caitlin Clark. I mean, now they're young ladies. But think about how young they were when that went down. It was like a moment. And she was, like Caitlin had gotten all the attention. They beat her. She probably went OD. She went OD. Sometimes people go OD. It's all right. Not the end of the world. I haven't seen anything from her since. I think she had that little issue at the beginning of the season with Kim Mulkey, but I don't know what that was about. So cut the girl a break. Let her grow into herself, mature. She's a professional now. You're going to be seeing a lot of Angel Reese. AJ says, how much of that Reese hate is caused by the media at the time? That's a good question. But Reese went OD. And then the Caitlin Clark fans are also a little OD. Not all of them. There's a lot of Caitlin Clark fans. But they're so protective of Caitlin, and they act brand new. And I get it that Caitlin Clark has brought all this attention to women's basketball. It's the reason I'm doing this show right now. At the same time, it existed before her. And a bunch of her fans act like it didn't exist before her. And they just get angry and dismissive of everybody else. And it's not like Caitlin Clark, like I said, is fine. She's going to be fine. She don't need your help. Trust me. She's doing okay. Doing just fine. Doing just fine. All right, guys. Give me any more of those chats into the stream. I'll get as many reads off here as I can. I got to sign off a little early today. This show, as of now, is Monday through Thursday around this time. Well, we can adjust accordingly around events if they come up. Again, I just want to make the announcement that there is now membership for the WWR available. There is also super chats if you want to expedite your chat or make sure your chat is read. And if you just want to support the channel. I see people saying Jokic won MVP. I mean, it was tough. It was a tough race. It could have got I don't have an issue with Jokic winning MVP. Could have been Shea, could have been Luka. It is what it is. Ernesto says LeBron has dismissed 6 coaches. That's as many rings. No, he hasn't. I mean, Jordan got rid of Doug Collins. Magic Johnson got rid of Paul Westhead. Who did LeBron? Spoelstra was there the whole time in Miami. In Cleveland, the second time, Blatt was gone, but then they won the title with Ty Lue, so that was the right call no matter who made it. And then in LA, I mean, look, Frank Vogel won a title with LeBron. Now he's getting fired again, I'm sure. Or did he already get fired? I forget. Did Frank Vogel already get fired? It's hard to keep track of that. Is he? Who is the head coach for the Phoenix Suns? So he's still employed, but could get fired. Likely would get fired from another spot. And then the entire Lakers fan base was calling for the end of Darvin Ham. Goodness Rated Bo responds to Tony Hill. It's not that serious. It's called competition. Caitlin Clark actually was the spark that caused the fire. She started taunting players when she went. Look, Caitlin Clark did do this. She didn't go as OD as Angel Reese did. But so what? It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Certainly not unforgivable. Certainly not unforgivable. But, people got tired of the attention that Caitlin Clark was getting, I'm sure. Devin Booker isn't good. I saw the meme. Where did it pop up, Kevin? Why would it come up now? They're home. They are home. That's funny. Kevin and I, again, we're going to be doing a comparing rappers to wrestlers video later today that hopefully you'll check out. I noticed some of the comments on the Drake and Kendrick videos that we did, and I thought it was cool because there were literally people that said, I came for Caitlin Clark, but I'm staying for this. So it's cool to see that people are rocking with both and all that. And that's what I'll be giving you on the channel. I do a lot of shorts. I'm good at those. I've got a lot of practice in those. And they will be on those topic matters as well. Basketball, wrestling, a lot of wrestling shorts, and a lot of rap shorts, depending on what's hot at the moment, what I'm feeling the most at the time, what lends itself the most. But yeah, this women's basketball wave, riding on my surfboard. I can't say it like B. I apologize. And yeah, there may be more waves coming in regard to that for me too, which I will announce only when they are actually reality. But again, I want to re-show the comment from, was it Sean, right? Who became a member today. And I very much appreciate it. Sean Davis, following for Denise, you're great, man. Denise Salcedo and I every Friday night on her show after SmackDown. So if you're interested in following me in the various places, that's another place that you can find me. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, hit subscribe, hit like, make comments. I will reply to as many comments as I can. I will get to as many comments as I can, get to as many as I can later. And in addition, you can now become a member of the WWR. We'll get you some extra perks. You'll get your badge. You'll get your emojis. You'll get your exclusive access. You'll get, I'll say it right now. We'll do a hangout for members, for only members. Not a requirement, but it is an encouragement if you want to support the channel. Same with the super chats. Kevin was the super chat today, because as we continue to grow and this continues to get bigger and bigger, it's going to be hard to get to everybody's chats. And I can see that now. I mean, today, I don't know if today was, I don't think we broke the concurrent viewers, but we might have broke the chat rate today. There was a lot of chats, a lot of comments that came in. AJ Schreiber, support your boy. WWR. All right, guys, you check out the video I do with Kevin later. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow. Same Robin channel. Yeet.